With the age of 46, there is a lot of doubt that will be going on inside of you. Should I have done this? Shouldn't I have done this? Was that the right thing to do? Maybe I was a bit too rash. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe would have, should have, could I? It's like a lot of in your head. And it leads to this place, a lot of what will be in your head as well, actually. It's not just the, maybe I shouldn't have done that, doubting the decisions that you make. A lot of what will go on inside of your head as well, because it is 4 and 6, which is 10. The mindset of the 10 is, but what if this happens? And, but I did this. And, but what if this happens because I did this? And what if that happens because I did this? And there's a whole load of what ifs that happen. So it means that the 6, which is planting seeds, the message for the 6, which is planting seeds, is getting full of all of these weeds where there isn't going to end up being this beautiful harvest that you can harvest if you remain with the doubts of the decisions you make and the what ifs in negative, because you're not giving them the space to be able to grow. You're not nurturing them, you're stifling them. It's like having a plant and not giving it the sun that it needs to be able to grow, and the water. If it doesn't get the water and the sun, it's not going to grow. And that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what will be happening with the age of 46. It's like there needs to be this, the lesson for age 46, because the challenge would be getting out of your own head. Forget the what ifs, unless they're positive, and forget the doubts of your decisions, and move into a place of the 6, which is how are you nurturing the seeds that you've planted. So the 4 is a message of ready, steady, go, go, go. It tells me that there is a decision that you made, but like I said, the decision is full of doubts. So if we go to the 4, 5, 6, I'm going to do it like that, so you have an understanding of the 4, 5, 6 as the spiral. So the 4, actually I'm going to start with the 1 with you. And the reason I'm going to start with the 1 is because 4 and 6 is the 10. And 10 is a 1. So I'm going to start with a 1 for you and move to the 6 so that you can understand how it works as a spiral, all right? So the 1 with the what if, the 1 of the 10 is a fear of rejection and failure. And because you fear rejection and failure, it means that you won't necessarily put yourself out there. You have these really big desires that you would love to do, but you constantly talk yourself out of them. So the 1 is this understanding that you work from a place of fear around failure and rejection. And failure for me, it's only a failure if you don't actually go after what you want, because that means that there is nothing that can come out of that. You end up in exactly the same place you are. When you move towards a desire, something that you want, as long as you have moved, taken steps towards it, whether you actually accomplish it fully or not, you've learnt lessons along the way. You have changed along the way. You've become someone different. You see the world different. You have learnt tools to be able to move through the world differently. So there is a benefit. There is no failure in that. There cannot be failure in something that brings growth. So the 1 is definitely something to work on with this age, 46. This worry of the what ifs. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm rejected? That leads you to the 2. So if you're in low frequency, I'll tell you in low frequency and in higher frequency. So the 1 is the what ifs in negatives. What if I fail? What if I'm rejected? The 2 is, the message is love is all around. But when you're in the 2, so what if I fail? What if I'm rejected? It would be no one loves me, no one supports me. That would lead you to the 3, which is a message of in search of a oneness. It means that you're looking for something outside of yourself to be able to make yourself complete. So you would worry about what other people think about you, and that would be your determination of walking forward or not walking forward. But if you've already decided with the 1 that you're fearful of rejection and failure, then there's no way that you're going to follow inspiration with the 3. like taking a mask off yourself. So if you're fearful of the failure and rejection, you're not going to take the mask off. 4 is making a decision. But if you haven't taken the mask off, then you're not really going to make a decision to change a lot. So there will be a lot of the doubts about self. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that wasn't the right decision. Maybe whatever. It's all in doubts though, which leads you to the 5, which means that now you're looking at your world with lack. But I don't have this, and I don't have people supporting me. I haven't completed everything that I needed to complete, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to finish. And what if I don't finish? And what if I fail? And I don't have enough money for it, and I don't have enough this, and I don't have enough that. It's all about lack, 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 lack. You don't have. And then the 6 would be, I'll use a house as an example. You wanted a house, and you see this beautiful house there in front of you, and you're like, oh, what a beautiful house. I can never have that house. How would I ever have that house? I'll never have the money for that house. That house will never be mine. I'm not deserving of that house. I can't have that. Where am I going to get the money for that? It's impossible. No one's ever going to help me get that house. So it's like all crap. It feels like crap, all of it. When you do it from a higher frequency, the 1 would be that desire that you have with the 10. There is definitely a desire that you have at this moment, because 46 is a 10. There's a desire. You have a desire. The desire that you have, you walk towards it. You believe in it. You trust in yourself. You want a house you can't afford. Yeah, I'm going to do it in the higher frequency now so you can understand. I'll use a house as the example as well, all right? So this 10, the 1, is, okay, I really would like a house. But remember, in lower frequency, it's a fear of failure and a fear of rejection. So in higher frequency, it is, ooh, I love that house. I deserve that house. I deserve a beautiful house. I am enough to have that house. I am enough to have any house that I want, because I deserve any house that I want. And there's no way that I'm not going to be rewarded it. There's no way that it's not going to come to me. And what if that house is mine? I love that house. And what if that come to me? Oh, I'd be so happy. It would be amazing. I look forward to that. It's very different to the what if it doesn't work. So when you walk with the new mindset of the 10, because it is a 1, and 1 is all about our ego self. There is something inside of you that is creating this spiral to go in negatives, in the resistance. So, and it always starts with the 1. Any of the 1s, which I said, there's 6 1s. Yours this year will be with the 10, the what ifs in negative. So this is something, this is the fundamental, this is the core, the root that you will be working on until you get back to the 10 again. This is, which would be, what would the 10 again be? 55. No, 55 would be your next 10. So until you get to 55, this is like a lesson that will keep coming up unless you deal with it. This is your year to deal with it. So the more work you put into it this year, you don't have so much work to do around that particular thing, the number 10. So, all right. I really like that house. And you know what? I'm going to walk towards that house because I deserve that house. That I deserve that house is already changing something in you, because at the moment you don't believe you can have that house. So you telling yourself that you deserve that house means that why can't I have this house? There's nothing that stops me from having this house. You wouldn't be scared of the rejection or the fear of failure, because you know that there's nothing that stops you from having this house. So that leads you to the 2. You feel supported, and it's not looking for support outside of yourself. From people around you, because you say you want that house and you've got people around you that are in lower frequency, and they're like, but do you know what your bank account looks like? How are you ever going to get that house, then you're going to go back into lower frequency because you're listening to everything that they're telling you, and it moves you back into this place of, yeah, what if I can't get the house? And what if I'm not good enough to get the house? And maybe I should listen to them because they make more sense. And then I won't even fail because they just feed that fear that you already have. So don't pay attention to what is going on necessarily outside of yourself. Looking for that support and love outside of yourself. Look for it from within yourself. Look for it from the signs and synchronicities that keep getting shown to you. So you want a house. I'll give you... Can I use that example with a house? Yeah, I must be able to use it with a house. So for the signs and synchronicities, it would be you've seen a house that you really like, then all of a sudden that house comes up for sale, or you keep seeing houses very similar that you keep seeing for sale, or you're on your phone one day and you're scrolling and you keep getting shown these houses that are very similar to the house that you really want, that you would love to have. These are signs and synchronicities that the universe is showing you that it's heard you. It knows what you want. It's heard you, and it is doing everything it can to support you as you walk towards this house. The 3 is an inspired insight, inspired action. It's like receiving insights, receiving inspiration. So the 3 is this mask comes off. The 3 is like, you have your ego self with the 1, you have your energetic self with the 2, which is why signs and synchronicities are really important, because you're using that energetic self rather than your ego self. And then the 3 is you working together, then working together. Your ego self will take action. Your energetic self is where you receive the information from. So with the 3, you receive information from energetic self, but you're able to take action towards it from your ego self, because it's the ego self that takes the action, but it has to decide to take the action. So it takes the action with the 4, and it trusts the action. Remember, in the 4, in lower frequency, it's the doubt. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe that was the wrong thing. That means that you're using the 1 in a negative way. You're using the 1 in that I'm going to fail, I'm going to be rejected. When you're in the higher frequency, the 4 would be, you wouldn't even notice the 4. You wouldn't notice it. You would take the action of the 3 and you would automatically move to the 5. When we're in alignment with what it is that we want, we don't go through all of these numbers. You wouldn't notice them. You just fly by them. The only ones you'd really notice are like the 3, the 6, 9, 8 as well maybe, but 3, 6, 9 you'd notice a lot more than the rest of them, because the 3 is the inspiration, the 6 is the nurturing of that, the good feelings that you're feeling about it, and the 9 is opportunities that come from that. So you're under 4. The thought process for the 4 in higher frequency, it would be that there's no worry, there's no stress, you're not concerned about these actions that you've taken, you just simply trust. It's a feeling of trust. The 5 would then be, remember in lower frequency it would be lack, I don't have. In the 5 in this higher frequency is, I feel really grateful for having a house over my head. I feel really grateful for life. I feel really grateful for whatever it is that you're grateful for. It doesn't matter. It's just a place of gratitude. It doesn't matter what your gratitude is towards. You feel gratitude, which then leads you to the 6. Look at that house. I love that house. That house is my house. My house will look just like that house. I'm going to put this here, and you start decorating the house in your mind. You're in that house. You have the key in your hand for that house. You're decorating it, you're going to have that room, and that room is going to see the sunrise, and there's this beautiful tree outside of it, and whatever it is that you can imagine. But you're imagining what it is to be in that house. That imagination, our imagination, it tells our body that this is ours. When we don't use our imagination and we're working from the ego, it means that, and the ego generally is the one that talks us out of everything, because it comes from the resistances, it comes from the trauma that we've experienced, the belief systems that we walk with. They're all telling us that we're not good enough in some way or other to have what it is that we're looking for. Nothing good ever happens to me. I can't have that because I don't have enough for that. It likes to chat. It really likes to chat. But when you're working from the higher frequency, you're working from a place of trust and gratitude and knowing that what you want is coming towards you. As you're walking towards it, as you see it in your mind and you have it very clearly in your mind that this is what you're walking towards, it's also coming towards you. You're like a magnet coming towards each other. But if you can't see it, it means that it's here. It's there waiting for you, but you're not walking towards it, because unless you can actually see it and believe that it's yours already, there is no movement towards it. It will be there waiting though until you are ready to move towards it. But you have to put that energy into trusting that it's yours already. And with this 10 energy, it is moving over this fear of failure and rejection. In particular, let go of the what ifs in negative, because that will be your biggest challenge. That's the one that you spend a lot of time in. But what if it doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? I think of the 6. The 6 will really help you with the 10. And anytime that you find yourself or your mind in the, I shouldn't have done that, what if this happens? What if that happens? Anytime your mind goes into that, which is the 1 and the 4, work on your 6. I think of the 6 as the pole. I think of all the numbers as a pole, but the 6 I like it a lot for. So you have this pole. You have the negative version of the pole. You have the positive version of the pole. The negative end of the pole is not going to create the harvest that you want. You're not going to be able to pick the fruit off that tree. But the positive side, you will be able to. It will come to you. So when you go into your what ifs in negative, you're in the lower end of the pole. But remember, a pole that is like the duality. This, for example, is a house. You either view the house from negative or you view it from positive. It doesn't matter what this is. It could be a job. You're either viewing it from negative or positive. It could be a partner, negative or positive. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're viewing what it is that you want from a negative, how do you change that negative to a positive? And then hold on to that positive and keep working from that positive. Because you're a bit used to working from negatives, especially last year. Last year was a 9 for you. 45 is a 9. That would have been quite an emotional year for you last year. So there will be quite a lot of emotions going in you. It will be something that you have... you're used to at this point, working from the lower frequency, working from the it's not going to work rather than everything is working for you. So what you're having to do is reframe your mindset and create new circuits that hold on to this version rather than this. Instead of this being your default, you make this your default. So with the 6, with a house, like I said, when your mind goes into the what ifs, you go into, I love living in a house. And it doesn't even have to be a house that you even want. It could be the house that you're living in, whether you like it or not. Let go of the idea, whether you like it or not. Focus on what you love about being in a house. You have a roof over your head. It's warm. You have somewhere that is your own space. There's many things that you could focus on within being in a house, because there's lots of homeless people and it's cold. It's not nice. When you have a house to live in, we should be really appreciative. So focus on being appreciative of having a house. If you like windows, I really love the windows in my house. I really love being able to see out and whatever it is that you want to see. If you want to be in a city, I really love seeing all the lights. If you want the country, I really love seeing the space around my house. I really love a beautiful garden. I really love walking around my garden. Whether you have a garden or not, it's irrelevant. As long as your body believes it, it's a truth. It will come towards you. So that's your challenge, the 6. It will be the biggest, it will be the easiest way to change the mindset of what you've walked with.